Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for today's NBA slate on Thursday, February the 9th. Now we have a really small slate tonight, only a 4-game slate, so there's not going to be too much to like today. This is definitely going to be a day where I think I'm going to personally be playing a little bit lighter, just because there are fewer games. Plus, today is the trade deadline, and we've already seen there's been some trades earlier today. There was obviously the massive trade last night with Kevin Durant going to the Suns. So yeah, like it's just a weird day with trades going on, with there only being 4 games. So gonna be playing a little bit lighter today, but I do have 2 fantasy score props I do like that I want to share with you guys for today. And as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos and you do want more Prizepicks plays from me, I give out more Prizepicks plays over on Patreon. You can check those out, linked down below in the description if you are interested. Not sure how many plays I'll be giving out on Patreon today, just because it is kind of a smaller slate, but I'll probably find at least a couple more plays I like. I'll share those on Patreon. I'll give a full write-up for each play I do provide on Patreon. Check that out, linked down below in the description if you are interested. But before we do talk through the 2 plays for today, guys, as always, if you guys enjoy these Prizepicks videos, hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet, and if you guys are new to Prizepicks, if you have never checked out Prizepicks before, you can sign up with my promo code NOAH. If you do look at the bottom of the screen, when you sign up with promo code NOAH, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. Definitely give Prizepicks a try if you have not yet. And before we talk through the plays, I do want to recap our 2 plays from yesterday. So gave out 2 picks yesterday, hit one of our plays, but unfortunately missed the other. We did catch the over on De'Aaron Fox points in the matchup against the Rockets. Fox had a really good game, finished with I think just over 30 points, and we needed 24 from him, so he went over his projection. Unfortunately, though, KJ Martin did not go over his PRA prop, and that was just a super tough beat. KJ Martin, we needed 22 points, rebounds, and assists from him, and he had 18 at halftime. He had 15 points and 3 rebounds at halftime, and in the entire second half, he literally grabbed 2 rebounds. He didn't score any points, didn't get any assists. He grabbed 2 rebounds the entire second half, finished with 20 PRA when we needed 22 from him. So that was a really tough one to lose. Really felt like that was going to be a prop that we had in the bag after KJ Martin had such a big first half and then really did nothing the entire second half. Super annoying. But hopefully we can catch these 2 plays for Thursday, and let's go ahead and talk through them. So got 2 fantasy score props I do like for today, guys. And the first fantasy score prop we're actually going to talk about Torrey Craig. His fantasy score line sits at 20.5, and I do like the over here for Torrey Craig. So you can look at his last 5 games if you want to. He's only gone over this in 2 out of his last 5. Torrey Craig is not like the best fantasy point per minute player, but what makes me like this prop is that the Suns, they're going to be shorthanded today. Obviously, we all saw the trade that went down last night. Kevin Durant's going to be on the Suns now. The Suns did trade away Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, so they don't have Mikal Bridges for today. They don't have Cam Johnson, or they don't have him anymore. I mean, they're not even on the team anymore. And then the guys they traded for, Kevin Durant, obviously not ready to play yet. I think he's still injured anyway. And then they got TJ Warren, but he's not ready to play. He's not going to play this game either. So the Suns are pretty much only going to have 10 available players today. And like you look at their bench, 2 of the 10 players they have are centers. So they have DeAndre Ayton, who's going to start at center, and then they have Jock Landale and Bismack Biyombo. So I'm not really sure if like Landale and Biyombo are going to play any minutes together. So we could see a pretty tight rotation for Phoenix here. They don't really have a ton of wings. No Cam Johnson, no Mikal Bridges. So I think Torrey Craig's going to play over 30 minutes. They're just thin. And although he's not the best per minute producer, he still averaged 0.79 fantasy points per minute. So let's say Torrey Craig does play 30 minutes today and averages 0.79 fantasy points per minute. That would still put him at 23.7 fantasy points, which I think is probably where his line should be at. I think his line should be at like 22.5, 23.5. I think 20.5 is a little bit too low. Torrey Craig is one of these guys that can do a little bit of everything when he's on the floor. He's not the best scorer, but he can knock down some threes when he's open. He is a good rebounder, so he can rebound pretty well, and he is very good at getting defensive stats, and that's one of the reasons I like his fantasy score is because, again, I say this all the time on Prizepicks, you do get 3 points. When you do fantasy score, you get 3 points for every block and steal. And Torrey Craig can have games where he gets 2 or 3 blocks, 2 or 3 steals. There's been a couple games this season where he's had close to that. I wanted to pull up his game log real quick just to confirm, but I know he's had some games with multiple steals, multiple blocks. Last game he had 2 blocks against Atlanta. Last time they actually played Atlanta, who they're playing today, he had 2 blocks he had 2 steals and a block in that game. Put up 24.1 fantasy points in only 23 minutes. So last time they played Atlanta, it was a massive blowout. He only played 23 minutes. He had 24.1 fantasy points in that game. But like last game against Brooklyn, he played 25 minutes but only scored 10 fantasy points. Again, it's just a totally different scenario today. They're really shorthanded. Craig's going to have to play minutes. He's played over 30 minutes in 15 games this season, so he's played at least 30 minutes or more in 15 games. When he's played 30 minutes or more this season, he's gone over this fantasy score line in 12 out of the 15 games. And the 3 games he went under, he had 20.3 fantasy points, so he came up literally just short. He had 18.6, and then he had 16.9. I just think this projection is too low for how shorthanded Phoenix is. Without Mikal Bridges, without Cam Johnson anymore, Kevin Durant not ready to play, TJ Ward not ready to play. They're pretty much going to run like a 9-man rotation. Craig should get 25, 30 minutes. This fantasy score line does feel a little bit too low to me. So that's the first play I like for today. And then the other play I like to pair with that, I'm going to talk about a guy on a new team. Talk about Spencer Dinwiddie. His fantasy score line sits at 31.5. And I also like the over here for Spencer Dinwiddie. Now, this is Spencer Dinwiddie's first game with the Nets. Now, he's been on the Nets before. You can see, like in the thumbnail, I found a picture of Spencer Dinwiddie when he was on the Nets before. So he's been on the Nets before, but he got traded back to Brooklyn. And I think he's going to have a really big role, at least until some of these guys arrive to Brooklyn, like Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, the guys that got traded to Brooklyn. You look at this Brooklyn team, they no Kevin Durant anymore, no Kyrie Irving anymore. Mikal Bridges got traded to Brooklyn but not ready to play yet. Cam Johnson traded to Brooklyn, not ready to play yet. So my thoughts are that Spencer Dinwiddie is going to have a pretty big role here, and he's going to be one of the lead usage guys. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. I'm assuming that he will start in his Nets debut. I'm guessing he'll be their starting point guard rest of season. You look at the rest of their, like, who you think probably will start. My guess is the starting lineup will be Spencer Dinwiddie, Ben Simmons, Nick Claxton, Royce O'Neal, and then probably, like, I guess Joe Harris. I did have the projected starting lineup pulled up before, and I'm pretty sure that was the projected starting lineup, but I want to read it off real quick. So Brooklyn's projected starting lineup is Ben Simmons, Spencer Dinwiddie, Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith. Forgot about Dorian Finney-Smith. Yeah, so Dorian Finney-Smith and then Nick Claxton. So, Joe Harris won't be in the starting lineup, but it will be, it should be Dorian Finney-Smith. So that should be the starting lineup. Dinwiddie, Simmons, Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Claxton. And if Dinwiddie's starting, he's going to play 30-plus minutes most likely, and he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. You look at the guys in the starting lineup with him. Ben Simmons, low-usage player. Royce O'Neal, low-usage player. Dorian Finney-Smith, low-usage player. Nick Claxton, low-usage player. These are not guys that really create their own shot. They're going to like stand in the corner and shoot threes. Nick Claxton is just kind of like a screen setter. He's not a guy that's really going to take a ton of jump shots and create his own offense. So I expect a lot of Dinwiddie. I expect big usage for Dinwiddie. It's really hard to project his role just because he is on a new team. But when you look at the guys around him, at least the guys that are in the projected starting lineup, I expect Dinwiddie to be really productive when he's playing with those starters. Now, they still have Cam Thomas, who has been on an absolute tear lately. I think Cam Thomas is going to be kind of like their sixth man. And I do expect Cam Thomas to be productive when he's on the floor. He is a guy that can soak up a lot of usage. But I think when Dinwiddie's getting minutes without Cam Thomas, he's going to be very productive in those minutes. And even when Dinwiddie and Thomas are playing together, those should be the two guys really dominating the usage and taking a lot of the shots. Do want to mention that when Dinwiddie was on the Mavs this season, so he played obviously a ton of minutes without Luka. He averaged 1.16 fantasy points per minute in the 700 minutes he played without Luka this season. Had a 30.2% usage rate in that time. I think that's kind of what we can expect for Dinwiddie here on this Nets team, at least until they get all their guys. I think we can expect close to a 30% usage rate for Dinwiddie. I think we can expect him to average over a fantasy point per minute, and I would assume he's playing full minutes right out of the gate. So those are the two fantasy score props I do like for today, guys. Torrey Craig, more than 20.5 fantasy score. Spencer Dinwiddie, more than 31.5 fantasy score. These are two picks I like. Taking a first look at the board right now. I was a little late making this video, but these are some props I like kind of right now. I will be sharing a few more plays, though, over on Patreon. So if you guys want more Prizepicks plays from me, check out the Patreon, linked down below in the description. But I do wish you guys the best of luck on this little short Thursday slate. We'll definitely be back for Friday with a much bigger slate on Friday. But I still did want to make a video today, give you guys some plays I like for Thursday. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And again, go check out Prizepicks. You guys can sign up for Prizepicks and use my promo code Noah. When you do sign up with my promo code, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. Check them out if you guys have not yet. But best of luck tonight. As always, appreciate you guys watching the video. Hopefully, we can make a little bit of money tonight, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.